Hey everyone, today we've got something really special to show you. Pietra, Clowncrafter. She's a character that I painted for Magic the Gathering's Unfinity series. Man, this painting was great to make. It was a lot of fun. Let's take a look. This is Pietra, and let's take a look at how her world and how she was created for Magic the Gathering's Unfinity set. Now, one of the things I'm going to let you know right off the bat was that unfortunately when I painted this, which was a little while back, I did not set my record button and record the actual painting process. In fact, I was just sort of painting away, and it wasn't until the painting was released as a card just recently that I thought, oh my gosh, I wish I had gone back and recorded my process of painting it. But what I do have is I have steps along the way of when she was being created, recorded down, and so I thought I would share that with you, and that's what we're going to take a look at here today. Basic place to start would be with a series of sketches, and that is what we're going to look at. So, here is the first sketch of Pietra. She is in her workshop, and she's creating this robot, and the robots in this sort of carnival circus kind of universe are the clowns in this world. She's a clown inventor, and in her workshop she is, we find her now making a clown, and she is sort of putting the finishing touches. She's installing the clown's sense of humor. In this case, it is a microchip, or I guess this would be a large microchip, a macrochip perhaps, that of the clown's humor that she is placing in. Now, in the set, you can sort of see some details that there are bins of different kinds of humor chips that she puts in the different kinds of robots. So that is the first idea. Now, I kind of kept the set basically the same, and the robot, which I really like, the same. But what I wanted to do is just give a couple of different looks at Pietra herself, some different attitudes, and a couple of different sort of character expressions. And one of them, and actually the first one, was about her in the moment making the robot and having a great time. The second one here is as if you have sort of walked into her workshop and you've caught her doing her job, and she's kind of looking back at you, kind of, sort of pleasantly surprised that you're there with her as she's making the clown. And then the next one is a bit different than that. I kind of sort of thought another interesting moment might be in the middle of, perhaps you're the same viewer, the same person who's walked into the workshop and has asked her a question, and she's sort of thinking it over and trying to decide, how do I answer that, or what is the answer to your question? And so I sort of came up with these different feels, and I sort of laid them all out to show the art director. And here is a look at the different sketches that I created for Pietra working on her robot. And the art director decided that the one that she liked was the first one, but with a modification. And so what I did was I took that robot that was in the foreground and I modified it slightly to have kind of a different feel, more of a utilitarian kind of appliance appeal. Like maybe this is a robot that makes smoothies or milkshakes for kids, at the carnival. And so that was the next step. After I get a sort of approved sketch on where to go, then I'll sort of work out the next thing. And the next sort of most important thing is to work out the color key. So in this color key, I've got colors that I feel are working really nicely with her uniform, her skin complexion, and kind of gives a really nice playful sort of feel. But after spending some time with it, I started to think that I started to get really bothered by the cyan color behind her, because I felt like it wasn't really speaking like intergalactic space kind of feeling. It was starting to feel more like this aquarium behind me. It felt like she was, she was at an aquarium. So I thought I was going to need to dial that cyan back, and the piece started moving more towards a cooler ultramarine blue as a key color note. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that the line is gone here, and when you're painting digitally, which I painted Pietra, I was able to separate the line and the underpainting and sort of look at them independently. And so that's what we're looking at here, and let's turn the line back on. And with the line and the color and the lighting and all those things in place, now I have a clear roadmap on how to bring this painting to a finish. So let us take a look at that. So, in painting the final painting, there are some things that you're going to notice. Obviously, you've already seen what the final painting looks like because it's been previewed for you. The final painting's composition has been flipped horizontally, and the main reason for that is that when I had the robot on the lower right-hand corner, I found that you spend a lot of time wanting to look at that robot. I mean, your eye naturally wants to go from left to right, and so you would look at Pietra, you'd look at all the cool stuff around her, and then you would end up looking at that robot and just sort of hanging out down there. And I thought, well, you know what, I want to keep the focus on Pietra. I want you to stay. She's the star of the piece anyways, as much as it all is cool stuff. So I did that for that reason. The other final thing that you'll notice that's different from all of this lead up is that the robot has been revised yet again. And this is the final design. Actually brings it even more so into the world of the Unfinity universe that has already sort of been established in other designs, and I felt was much more successful with this final look. So with that, let us look at the final painting. And here is how Pietra in her workshop turned out with the robot and all her glory. And so it was so much fun to make, and I'm really, really thankful that I got the opportunity to make Pietra, her robot, and this workshop in this really, really cool universe in the Unfinity sort of set for Magic the Gathering. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a blast making this card. It's a blast sharing the process with you. Hope you come back again. We'll have more artwork to look at.